Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is for the Altenew May 2019 block hop and release of the new dies, stamps, stencils. There's also inks and some enamel pins. And what I'm going to use for this project is probably one of my favorite things from the release. It's called the Fine Bouquet die, and I loved it. When I got the catalog for this release, I knew that I wanted this because I think there's so much you can do. But one of the reasons why I got it is because it matches the floral in the book club stamp, and also the fact that it reminds me of lace. So I'm going to use it pretty much to create kind of a border, lacy border for one of my layouts in my Life Crafted album. This is from Citrus Twist Kids, and it's going to be all about my daughter. It's going to be pretty simple because I don't want to take away from the frame. So I've used some of the papers from the Reflections kit to cut all the flowers, all the little roses in white paper. And all I'm doing right now is I'm auditioning some of the papers for the background. And I wanted something that was going to make the flowers stand out without being too flashy. So I went and picked this, I'm going to say this very neutral, kind of it has a distressed look to it. And I really love the fact that it actually complements the flowers really nice. And because it's a neutral, and it has a, I'm going to say it's very plain, everything that I put on top of it is going to stand out. So all I'm doing right now is I've cut around, I'm going to say cut around 8 or 7 images, probably, yeah, I'm going to say 8 images of the dies, just because I had this idea that I wanted to create the entire circle, the entire border full of it. I was thinking of, like I said, lace. So you see me right now, all I'm doing is I'm playing with the positioning. I know what I want. And remember, this is from my little album, so I'm going to have to cut it in the middle. So all I'm going to do right now is going to start working on the 4 corners, and I'm going to put a flower in each corner. So all I'm doing is using my little bottle of glue, and it has a little tiny nozzle, and I'm just adding some glue to the back of the die, and I'm just going to glue it straight onto my page. And when I'm going to get to the center, this is when I took a little bit of extra time just to play around with the image. I didn't want things to be superimposing. I wanted to look like a continuous thing. Like I said, my idea was lace. So you're going to see that I'm going to take a pair of scissors and kind of snip some of the extra leaves or some of the extra sprigs, but I'm not going to throw them away. I'm actually going to keep them because I think those are the ones that are going to help me connect the edges. So the sides, you see when there's a little gap in between, I'm going to say the corners, I think those little leaves that I just got are going to be good to connect the entire lace panel kind of situation. So all I'm doing is I'm gluing everything. You're going to see that I glued just the bottom part, and I'm going to leave a little bit of the top petals, in this case, loose, because I have this idea that I had a few ideas, so I wanted to be safe before I screw this up. So all I'm doing right now is I'm just going to cut the page in half and then create the hole so I can fit it into my album. And this album is 5 inches for the entire page protector by 8 1/4. So once I have that ready, I took it off camera and secure all the edges that I know that might give me some trouble. Everything is in place. And this is a picture of my daughter and I at one of my niece's parties recently, sorry. And we barely take selfies together. So to have a picture of us together, I wanted to document it. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm using the summer watercolor. This is a paper pad that just got released from Altenew. And I really like the fuchsia tone, and I think that's gonna be my accent color. So all I'm doing is I'm gonna go ahead and glue it on the right hand side of my layout, and then I'm gonna actually glue it right onto my layout, and then I'm gonna use one of those extra die cuts that I have and glue it on top of it, so I kind of make the illusion that I was touching it in between, like I sandwich it in between 2 of the die cuts. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do for that side. I'm going to come in and embellish it in a little bit. But like I said before, I kept all those little pieces that I cut because that was my way of connecting the 2 sides together. And you saw that I just added a little piece of the die to behind the picture, and that kind of helps unite the entire image. Now on the other side, you're going to see that I'm going to start creating kind of an elaborated title. That was my idea. And again, I'm adding the extra piece of that I cut just because you're going to see kind of completes the circle. So for this title, I'm going to use one of the new stamps, and it's called You Are the Best Thing, and I loved it. This was a stamp that Altenew sent, and I really loved it because I used it a few times. So first thing I'm going to use, this is Hello Darling, and this is from the Snapdragon, the Build a Flower Snapdragon. So my title is going to read, Hello Darling, you are the best thing. Please don't stop being so sweet. Oh, so lovely. So, like I said, my top part, the Hello Darling, comes from the Build a Flower Snapdragon. Then the You Are the Best Thing is one of the new releases for this month. And then I'm going to use the sentiment that I'm using at the bottom, comes from the Sweet Violet stamp set that was the Build a Flower from last month. So again, my title is going to be Hello Darling, You Are the Best Thing, Thanks for Being So Lovely. So that's just, I'm using 3 stamp sets to create my title. I'm using the jet black ink from Altenew, and I love the fact that the large title already balances the picture. So I'm not gonna add that much more embellishment. So I just added a little chipboard heart. This is from the Live Your Dream collection. And then I just added a few stickers from my stash. I wanted to bring some of that pink, and I'm gonna bring some of the black that I already have in the ink and also in the picture. And after that, I'm just gonna bring a few accents of color using the Altenew enamel dots. And I gotta order more because I'm starting to run low on them. I use them pretty much in all my projects. And you're gonna see that I'm gonna add a few, just kind of create the circle. Like you see how I have the lace kind of going around. You're gonna see that I add my enamel dots around the edges of the title, and that helps me create the little moon shape, and then a little bit around the picture, and that's about it. Super simple, super easy to put together. I love the die. I didn't use it after this, but I know that I'm going to use it in the future, so it's a must in your stash. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, and come join my blog so you can see more projects. Joining the hub, because there's a chance to win lots of gift certificates. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care.